Happy Saturday to you. And I hope you're having a great Saturday and a great weekend. My name is Don Terrell, and I want to welcome you to another amazing episode of The Color of Motion, where I like to say, hey, stories come in all shades. And I highlight people of color and diverse backgrounds in the industry of motion graphics, animation, visual effects, cartoons, and comics. This space that, if you don't know by now, going into season 3, that I love so much. Again, I want to welcome you to the show. You know the drill. Jump in, say hello. Hey there, Miss Maggie. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll be seeing you soon in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to getting together. Appreciate you checking out the show. Miss Liberty, appreciate you as well tuning in. It's going to be a great episode for sure. Make sure that you hop on over to the Facebook group, get connected, join in, facebook.com/groups/The Color of Motion. Become a part of the community and a part of the family. We are having a ton of fun over there, and the group is growing. So I definitely don't want you to miss out. So make sure you hop on over there. Of course, the links and everything will be in the show notes, and I'll share again later on towards the end of the show. But definitely don't want you to miss out for sure. Also, I always like people to give Ecamm permission to pull your information. That way I can give you the shout out you so richly deserve. Ecamm.com/connect. Like I said, it'll allow Ecamm to pull your information. Facebook, it's usually just Facebook that gives those kind of issues where, like this, Facebook is just Facebook user. So I'm not monitoring. Well, I guess I could pull up Facebook just to see. I'm watching, so looking forward. Everett, appreciate you, my man. Like I said, even though some people give Ecamm permission and they're connected with me, I don't know why. It's just a Facebook thing. It still comes up Facebook user for some reason. But I appreciate you, Mr. Everett, for choosing to tune in, supporting the show. As always, I know you're going to enjoy it. Ms. Shani, hey, excited to hear more from Kelvin. I know you are. I am too. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. We got a lot of interaction going for sure. Miss Helen Stuckey Weaver, I appreciate you tuning in for sure. What color am I on the color wheel? People judge the cover before they know our true ancestry. Anyone who gets judged by the color of our skin are the canaries in the mind of society. Yes, I tried. Well, I will say I get this a lot, and for some reason, this phrase bugs me. People, especially Caucasians, like to say I'm colorblind. I don't want to be colorblind. I want to see color. I can appreciate the color that you are, whatever color it is. I can appreciate it. So I don't want to walk around this earth being colorblind, and I don't think God meant it to be that way. Otherwise, He wouldn't have put color on this earth for you to walk around and appreciate. Miss Ray Nisses. Ray, I hope I'm pronouncing these right. We're getting a lot of great engagement, which I love. I appreciate, again, everybody that's jumping in and engaging in the show for sure. I appreciate that. Miss Leontine, hey, you made it. I appreciate that. Here with student Lizzie, I hope you let her know that I'm looking forward to getting her on the show for sure. But I appreciate you tuning in for sure. My man, Downtown DeMille, I appreciate you tuning in and always supporting the show. We missed you last week for sure. So, like I said, I've been looking forward to this episode and for a while now. What else is going on? Make sure that you connect with me on all my social channels here. I want to make sure I pull this up. Follow and connect with me on all my social channels. I appreciate that. You can find me here on, I got it right this time, on all my social channels. You can find me. I definitely want to hear from you. And let me know what you think of the show, anything you're wanting me to try and do. I got a lot of new things that I'm trying or I got planned for season 3. So definitely looking forward to unveiling that for sure. Like I said, we stream live every weekend, Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time, to YouTube, LinkedIn, the Facebook group. Also, now you can check out the show live on the website, thecolorofmotion.net. You can check out a live stream of it there. But I always highly encourage everybody to hop on over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification, give a thumbs up, comment on the episodes because it definitely helps. And there you can check out all the other great episodes and friends that I've had on. Yep. So hop on over to youtube.com/Don Terrell. And like I said, subscribe. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Got a little ways to go, but definitely know with your help, it's possible for sure. What else? Like I said, we are getting a lot of good engagement. Mr. DeMille, very true. That is what makes us unique. Yes, our color is what makes us unique. So that's why I say that's a pet peeve of mine. People say, I'm colorblind. I don't want to be color. You're not colorblind. You want to appreciate the color that you see, whatever color it is, white, black, you know, Asian, whatever color, you appreciate it. That's the big thing. Miss Helen Stuckey Weaver, I agree. I appreciate that. I am not colorblind and feel sorry for those that are. Yes, for sure. Miss Helen Stuckey Weaver. Miss Leontine, yes, super excited to be on the show. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, I am on the phone and can't see your social media links. Like I said, you can check out, you can check out the show, LinkedIn, on my profile, Don Terrell. You can go to the YouTube channel, Don Terrell. Check out the show there. You can go to the Facebook group, facebook.com. So let me throw that up there. Facebook.com/groups, The Color of Motion. I stream there as well. And you can also go to the website, thecolorofmotion.net, and check it out there. I think, for season 3, I'm thinking about, paring it down to maybe one channel or 2 at the most streaming, so that way we can have more of a engaged community for sure. Yes, I appreciate you subscribing. Please, if you know of other creatives or just anybody that loves content like that, whether it be animation, like I said, visual effects, cartoons, I plan on doing tutorials, putting them up on the channel, just a creative corner, as I like to say, where you can just get creative content. Please show them to the website. Definitely, like I said, would love to have them part of the community for sure. Uh, Mr. Benjamin, I appreciate you tuning in. Nairobi is tuned in. All right. We got a great African contingent. I appreciate that. Like I said, I've had a lot of guests from Africa, different parts of Africa. So I love my motherland country continent. I keep wanting to say country, but it's continent. So I appreciate you, Benjamin, for tuning in for sure. Like I said, this is going to be a great, great episode, fun episode. Been looking forward to it for a while now. Oh, before we get kicked off here, I definitely want to thank the sponsor for today's episode, DG Graphics. They do all the graphics, overlays, animations for the show. And if you're a business or a brand that's looking to step up your brand design, make sure that you reach out to them because they can definitely help you look good. If you're looking to start a live stream show as well, they can help you there as well. So I appreciate DG Graphics for being a long time sponsor for sure. Ah, Miss Shani, hey Luta. Um, Not sure if she's referring to you, my guess, but I will defer to that. We'll defer to that for sure. And again, Benjamin, I appreciate you tuning in for sure. With that, I think we can get this show off the ground because I said I was going to be respectful for this because the time difference is crazy and it's like 10 o'clock where he's at. So I'm definitely going to make this concise and respectful for him because I appreciate him staying up as late as it is to be a part of this show. So, with that, my next guest is an artist based in Nairobi, Kenya, and has developed an extensive set of skills through experience with a collage of media tools, teams, and clients. He is a motion graphics and animation specialist by day and a photographer and art explorer in his spare time. He has over time understood and mastered various art forms to produce work in great speed, detail, and excellence, which you're going to see a little bit. He lives to inspire the world through stories captured in words and pictures through his company, SirNare Animation Studios. Please, everybody, help me welcome my very special guest and friend, Mr. Kelvin Shani. Please help me welcome him. Oops. Whoops. Hold on. Messed up there. All right. Kelvin,
Okay.
we appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning
Thank you so
in and
much.
being a part of the show. Like I said, when I saw your work, I knew I had to get you on because you do some amazing work. Again, we're going to see a lot of his great work in a little bit, but I want to thank you so much for one, just being a part of the Color of Motion family, and then two, staying up as late as it is because I understand it's late over in Kenya.
It's good. Thank you so much, Don, for having me and that awesome introduction. It is amazing. I'm floored actually, and I'm really excited to be here to chat with you about animation and illustration. Thank
No,
you.
no, thank you. Like I said, our goals is to make uh, my friends and creators the stars that they are. So, no, thank you for sure for being. And like I said, we got a lot of engagement. So we got a lot of people tuning in from over there in Africa. We got a lot of people tuning in. So I'm just floored by just the engagement so far. Miss Kanye Ian in the building. I appreciate that. Please forgive me if I hack up any names. I'm trying my best. So I want to say that in advance. Reynes tuning in from Rongai, Kenya. Excited. Did I pronounce that right?
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan, and then I think me.
Is
Yeah,
it
but
is it
Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Rongai? Is that
No,
how you
Ryan. Just Ryan.
Ryan?
Rongai.
Rongai.
Rongai. There we go.
Rongai,
Yes.
Kenya. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm I'm gonna try it. Shengui na. Please
Uh-huh.
help me out.
Just continue. You're getting there. Just try. You got the first one right. Just
Yeah.
the next one.
Shangui na ve vigalele. Vigalele.
Yes.
Vigalele.
So it's like you're 90% there. It's Shangwe na Vigelegele. So you see, you're like you're pretty much there.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what is it that is that Swahili or what
It's like
language?
yeah, it's really
Swa-
for what's it called? Uh, yeah, like you see that boom thing you did in the beginning
Yeah.
of the show. That's Shangwe and
Okay.
Vigelegele.
Hey, this is all about education. That's a big part of why I do this, so we can learn really, learn the different dialects. That's why I love meeting so many different people from around the world because it definitely helps me. For sure. Miss Leontine welcomes you. Welcome, Kelvin, for sure. Found and requested the Facebook. I appreciate that, Helen. I will, after the show, make sure I approve everybody that gets into the group. I must go keep my word to do lawn work for a veteran in exchange for the use of his riding mower to mow 6 lawns. Wow, in the Wellness Weavers Global. All right, hub in Waterville, Kansas. I appreciate that. Yes, make sure you keep your word, but I appreciate you stopping by. You know, you're always able to go to the YouTube channel to check out the full episode or anything that you may have missed. For sure, Mr. DeMille, getting in dialects and linguistics today. Yeah, yeah, it's all about education, and I definitely enjoyed learning new things for sure. Habari, I appreciate that.
Very sad.
All right, all right, we're gonna dive into this. I'm curious, Kelvin. When did your
Yeah.
passion for animation and graphics kind of start? How early on, was it for you?
I think as early as I can remember, I used to fill in the mathematics books, the exercise books in my primary school with drawings instead of listening to the teacher. So, and binge on Cartoon Network and watching cartoons all day.
Yeah,
And wonder, uh, somebody must create that, right? Somebody must create the cartoons. So I was always thinking that one day I'd actually get to do this as a job, but as a kid it didn't really make a lot of sense. But later, the older I got, the more I got to see like comics.
yeah,
I got to see like, what are they called, behind the scenes of movies. That's when I came to realize that these things are actually made by people just like me.
yeah, yeah.
So the interest kept on growing ever since.
So never any illusion or thought of doing something else or being something else. Because I know how like some parents, they don't kind of get it or they don't feel like that it's going to be a lucrative life for some people, so they always kind of suggest getting into being a doctor or lawyer, something else that they think is going to make money. For you, did you ever have any idea of doing anything else? And did your parents really encourage your? How did your parents really kind of encourage your love for art and animation?
Uh, I wanted to be an astronaut. It hasn't
Okay.
borne fruit yet. We still have hope. Um, so I'm waiting for Elon Musk to do something in Africa. But other than that, my parents were very, very supportive about my art. I remember as a kid, I used to sketch next to my dad. He was an engineer, so he used to draw late into the night, and then I just look at him and I go like, I'm going to draw the same as you do. So and then when I got into high school, I got some really really good mentors who now gave me a direction. So they kind of called my parents and said and told them this guy actually loves drawing, so just let him do it. We are going to take care of him. So don't worry about him. Just let him do his thing. So I was very
Now that's an awesome
um,
thing to have. You know, somebody that's
yeah.
really gonna step up for you and really, you know, tell your parents, hey, this is his thing here. So did you go to school, art school, or is this pretty much self-taught? You know what you're doing, and the animation that you've done.
I did fine arts in high school, and then I went for a course in 3D animation in a school called Shantao Media Arts College in Nairobi.
Oh,
So there I kind of got to understand like softwares like Adobe, 3D Max. So just like a overall knowledge of how the things work.
yeah.
And then now I got to learn most, I'd say 70% of what I know through mentors, teachers, and also the University of YouTube as well.
Yeah, the University of YouTube
Just
is a really good thing for sure. So is
yeah.
um schools, I mean, are there a lot of schools, or was that just one of the few schools in Nairobi? Because I hear a lot where, a lot of creators out of Africa are having to go to, say, like France or other countries to get training, or schooling, I guess, to go to like brick and mortar schools. Of course, online you can learn a lot of stuff, but are you starting to see more schools that are offering this? Is it starting to grow in Nairobi, or is it still a lot of students, or a lot of people are having to venture abroad to get education?
When I was starting out, there were not so many schools, but right now, there are a couple of schools and also incubations for animation, as well as like animation studios which are training other animators. So there are more opportunities at this time, but they're
Awesome.
not as many as we'd like to. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts? Because, like I said, over here, we're starting to see, and especially from what I'm seeing, I'm starting to see a big rise in content creators, and stories coming over from Africa. Do you starting to see it grow continent wise, not just in Nairobi? Because I know there's a few studios in South Africa, like Triggerfish and some other ones in South Africa. Do you see the industry starting to really grow in Africa?
I think so, yeah. There's even a lot of interest in like big studios coming to us to
Yeah,
do projects for them. So it's actually happening. So I am very, very optimistic for the future. Like there's a lot of collaboration that is going to happen, and also this means that more jobs will be created, more opportunities will be created. So it's like a new reconnaissance for animation in Africa right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're starting to see a lot of studios like Disney, Sony, and Warner start to, like I said, partner with companies over there and really go over and start to cultivate the talent and bring the talent. Because we're craving different stories here. I think over here in the States, we're so used to just getting inundated with the same kind of stories over and the same kind of characters over and over again. We're starting to get a big outcry of, hey, we want different stories, different characters that look like us. um, what were some of the cartoons that you used to really like to watch, and kind of resonated with you?
Tom, I loved. Uh, It didn't have any language, so it's just a cat and a mouse chasing. It was as simple as it could be and as slapstick as it could be. Funny enough, I love the backgrounds for the cartoon. Like it just tells me how the perspective was a bit different than what you actually see because the camera was a bit lower than normal. So it was really interesting to see that. I also love Jetsons.
Mm-hmm.
I love Scooby-Doo. Um, of girls. It was because of my sister. Yeah. Um, but
He's
yeah,
got
like
his
I
assistant.
was a cartoon
His
basically.
sister
Huh?
is being his assistant today. She's doing an amazing job for sure.
Oh yes, it
Um,
is. It is.
but uh, for you, what's to this point? Um, do you like 2D, 3D? Is there any particular style that you kind of like? And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take a look at some of his work in a little bit here. But for you, do you love 2D? Since you do also illustration as well, or do you want to jump into 3D or just animation, whether it's 2D or 3D?
So in terms of um, watching, I don't mind 2D or 3D. But in terms of now, like project work, like working on projects, I have been also lucky enough to actually work on both ends, like do 3D projects and 2D projects. But I prefer working in the 2D medium because it's more closer to like drawing with your hand. Like it
Yeah,
does not have a lot of technicalities. I feel like rigging is quite hectic for me. Rendering also takes a lot of time. So there are barriers to entry in terms of the creative cycle. So if I can get an image out, or if I can get a project out as fast as possible, that's good for me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm kind of like you in the sense that rigging is. I mean, I love 3D, and I guess if I had my own character, I would probably rig it. But doing it as a job, I don't know if I could do
yeah.
rigging day in and day out as a job. So I guess you find your kind of lane there. Um, what do you see as kind of the biggest misconception that we may have from content and creators over in Africa? Or do you see any kind of misconceptions that you think we may have?
Is it on? My freeze.
Yeah, I still got you.
Um,
Are you freezing there, Kelvin? Now we may we may lose Kelvin because they we're having some technical issues, so he may drop out there. I don't know. Let me throw my chat on. Yep, he did. So I'm gonna hop on over to uh, this solo scene here on me real quick. I'm sure, which he just did. He jumped back in. Uh, Hold on, let me jump back in. We got you back.
sorry about that.
Yeah,
We're
I,
having
I thought
an
I was gonna have to kind of improvise a little there, but and I knew you were gonna log back in. But
yeah.
I was saying, do you feel like there's any misconception that we may have over here about just stories and creators from Africa? What do you see as the biggest kind of misconception?
Um, that Africa is one country. So yeah, like, I think there are 52 countries, and that breeds like one country can have so many ethnic tribes in it, ethnic cultures, and each of them, if you think of like a comic book story, they have like a origin story, they have a history, they have a past. So that means there are so many different cultural stories that can actually come out that have not been shown in the mainstream media.
Yeah,
Like I think we the history we have is very, very narrow-minded, and there's so much that we are yet to actually discover. So I'd say that's maybe one misconception of Africa.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, for sure. Like I said, I think, and that's I think going to be the beauty of not only studios here partnering with creators and studios over there that could really bring just so many varied, authentic stories. Like I said, we all know Africa's got a rich, rich history and culture
Yeah.
across so many different genres and mediums for sure. Uh, let's see, Mr. Dennis Mbuthia. I hope I please again if I'm
You're
I'm
there.
trying to do
You're
my
there.
best. See you,
Hi, Dennis.
Shani.
Nice to
I appreciate you tuning in, Dennis, for sure, and supporting Kelvin. We're having a fun conversation, um, talking with Kelvin Shani from Nairobi, Kenya. Um, for you, how do you
yeah.
deal with, if at all, procrastination and say like imposter syndrome? I mean, is that something that gets with you as it does with most artists dealing with?
Yeah, I think I even have a t-shirt somewhere and a mug with it. It happens all the time. And I'm yet to figure out like the best way to go around it. So what I try and do is I just tell myself put one step forward, like just actually push one leg forward, the next leg forward. So if it's a large project, I break it down into very, very small um, steps. So if it's drawing, I'm like, do a sketch or do the research first, do a sketch, then do your line work if I can remember. Because also now there's also that aspect for you might even forget to do the steps altogether. So it's a back and forth, and I think creativity is all. That's the beauty of creativity. It's not set in stone or set in a particular way. It's all about you can have the discipline to actually take you through stuff, but then you also need to have leeway to actually be creative in that process. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And we're getting ready to take a quick look at some of Kelvin's work. Like I said, he does some amazing illustration work and animation work. Before we dive back into some more questions, let's take a look at some of the, the artwork that he does. Because I was just blown away, like I said, when I first came across it, and like I said, knew just I had to get you on the show for sure. Like you said, the styles and color is so rich. And do you pull a lot of obviously your surroundings and just your environment into your artwork? I mean, is that something that you're consciously or unconsciously kind of doing, pulling just the things that you see around you?
yes, definitely. Like there's an image, the one it's like a background where we have like
Let's
the
see.
there's one that has like a backyard kind of setting. So that's actually a
Oh, the
home backyard.
backyard. Is this the one?
Yeah, yeah, that's like a home backyard. So I just took a photo and then I was trying to figure out how can I simplify that into an illustration. So I
Yeah,
tend to do that a lot.
yeah,
Mostly when you're daydreaming or you're just bored and you're looking for something to pass the time, then you start now studying things. And then I can now use that, either the colors or the way I've um, depicted something to now the actual animations that I work on.
yeah, yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
just some
Some of the
amazing
characters as
work,
well. Thank you.
and the style. Like I said, I love the comic books and illustration. When you're doing your comic books, are you doing uh, the inking, the coloring, or do you have a writer that you're working with on this? Where is your kind of space when it comes to comic books?
Like the comic that you're showing, it was a collaboration with a great artist called Salim Busuru. He's from Kenya as well. Has a website called Avandu Studios. Go
Got to
check
get
them
him.
out. They have
Yeah,
really,
got to
really
get him
cool
on. Yeah, and we're gonna put
stories.
the link for him as well on the
Yeah.
show notes for sure. But like I said,
So to answer, mm.
no, go ahead.
To answer your question, I think I excel best in colors and lighting. So that's where like the Avando Studios did the line work, and then I did the colors and the lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, such rich colors. I love for sure, and definitely uh, got to got to get your friend on for sure as well. Like I said, I love the story. Um, for I mean, what are the type of stories that kind of you want to bring and kind of highlight with from Kenya and your continent. I mean, because we're getting, we get a lot of the fantasy, the folklore type of stories, but like we said earlier, it's such a wide gamut of life that we go
Mm.
through. What are the type of stories that you're kind of keen on bringing forward and kind of like this is kind of just the average everyday kind of illustration, you know of just two guys hanging out. I
Yeah.
mean, for you, do you want to kind of do like the fantastical stories, like the comic book that you worked on, or for you, what is it that kind of is your thing that you would like to do more of and really, show what Kenya and Africa, can bring forward?
I think for me, it's to showcase what Africa looks like or what my environment looks like. It usually seems very simple when you just walk out and go like, this is actually normal. But to somebody in Canada, to somebody in Russia, that's not their normal. So there's a sense of novelty by seeing something different. And I came to realize also, like when you're looking for references for stuff based in Africa, like in Google or in the internet, you don't really get so much references. So I guess my vision is to populate the internet database with now awesome images of Africa, and images that elicit thoughts and conversation. Like this image in particular, I chose not to put a caption or um, a story in it. I just wanted, if you look at it, you kind of come up with your own. What are they
Yeah,
talking about? What could they? Why are they in the shadows? Why, like there's so many questions you can ask, and I like such creating such images because even when I was coming up, I also loved seeing such images that you look at it and then you go like, there's so many things that can come out of this.
yeah,
Like for example, the Mona Lisa for Da Vinci. People don't really know what Mona Lisa was smiling about. They're just like,
yeah,
was Mona Lisa sitting down or she's standing up? Was she a painter? We don't really know. But everybody is enamored or inspired by that image.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Letting people come up with their own kind of backstory and just thoughts, like I said, really does make for a um, powerful image for sure. Do you think that uh, in today's time, um, it's good, especially over in Africa, because you're starting to see for the content creator, because you're starting to see, like I said, a lot of software. Uh, like you said earlier, YouTube, a lot of places where you can get the knowledge and the training. Are you starting to think that it's a great time, especially for kids and younger people there, that they can get their hands on just the things to get their ideas out, and so many channels such as Instagram, YouTube, and just the time that we're living in now.
I think it's a brilliant time. We have so much knowledge on our hands. We don't really have to go to school to actually be a great artist or a great content creator. All you need is to create the content. Like the content could be anything, could be your story, your daily life, could be something interesting you saw, could be a demonstration of a skill you have or an idea that you have, and all you need to do is just go to the search bar and search for how do I write a story, or how do I use Blender, or how do I use Photoshop. And within 1 week or even 1 day, you can be able to get the skills to actually do something.
Yep.
And since the industry is very, very ripe or new for Africans, you can create a job out of that very, very easily. And I'd say that because I've done the same thing. Like, I've created my company based off on learning from YouTube, learning from the internet, and just being curious
Yeah.
on how how else can I create stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and I want to ask you this, because I've had this kind of conversation with other um, African artists, and it's different, and not just African, but just Jamaican artists and just artists from different countries. Over here, we get a lot of subsidies from the government in different, studios, different programs that are out there. Do you feel like that is something that needs to be worked on even more, where the government is kind of getting behind the industry and really funding different programs in the industry? I know it's probably different in certain areas. I know I talked with somebody from South Africa. They may get a little more as far as government type of support. Do you feel like that's going to be something that needs to be done in a bigger scale for more creators to get their hands on the training, the software, and things like that?
I think we are. Let me just talk about Kenya because that's
Yeah,
something I'm more. Um, I think we are getting there. We have a commission called the Kenya Film Commission that usually has award shows. It sponsors guys to go for animation festivals. It
yeah,
also has its own festivals in itself, and the prize money is to be won. There's also like call for submissions for maybe video competitions. So I'd say the government is actually trying their best to do so. And we just recently, or rather, we are in the process of getting a new government in Kenya. So this is one of the things that, as a creative, I hope that there's going to be a policy that actually helps us. Because, as you said before in the interview, Africa still, or rather, even I think globally, there's
yeah,
still that stigma of creativity is not really a job. It's something to do as a hobby. It's not like a main thing. So I guess if we get to that point whereby it's treated the same way as being a doctor, or it's treated the same way as being a lawyer, then we can get more help from the
yeah,
government.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then on
I
the other hand, I feel that in as much as that is happening, creatives also have the power to change the will of the government, because the government is you are the people who empower the government to be
yeah.
the government. Yeah. So if you can advise them, or you can give them ideas on how to do that, then you can actually change things.
Yeah, I think it's, of course, over in the states, even though I think a lot of parents, they don't get kind of, we still kind of get that starving artist kind of flavor, but the fact that we have companies like Disney, like Warner, like that, I mean, it just, we already know over here it's a $1 billion industry, so they're, you know they're okay with, like I said, subsidizing, companies, or, states giving tax incentives for companies to come here and stuff like that, because we kind of know that it's a $1 billion industry, even though, at a lower level, like I said, a lot of people kind of think that, well, until I get into it, how can, it's not a serious industry until you really look into it and see, just the type of work that's being done. Miss Hannah, I appreciate you. Hey, Powerpuff Girls are watching. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Hannah. Mr. DeMille loves your work. Amazing. Like I said, love the color. And it just has that kind of brilliant, vibrant style to it for sure. Mr. Jimmy Katanga. Yo, Don, thank you for having Kelvin. Hey, it's just my pleasure for sure. And definitely been looking to have him on for a long, long time, and definitely looking to have him back on for sure. Um, Representing Nairobi, Kenya. Like I said, I love my, even though I haven't been yet, that's on my bucket list.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list to come to Africa, so for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but definitely love my motherland country for sure. Mr. Downtown DeMille, yes, more government help with more tax subsidies for funding is a good thing because even here in the states, there are some states that don't. Yeah, some states that don't have tax incentives for studios, for sure. And obviously, I think what's gonna, definitely kind of help Africa is studios like Disney going over there, studios like Warner going over there, really kind of helping to bring festivals, Comic Cons, different things over there to really expose and more to the industry. I am hoping. Yep, Johannesburg is definitely on my all of them. Like I said, there's a lot of places. Johannesburg, Nairobi. There's just too many, and that's the beauty of why I love doing this show. Because I've connected with so many of my African brothers over there that I got a place to come visit when I'm ready
Yeah.
to go abroad for sure. When you visit Kenya, you might not go back.
That is true. That is true.
I can't wait, Mr. Dennis, to come visit Kenya. Definitely going to be looking up you and my friend here uh, for sure. Like I said, I'm just my cousin went to him and his wife visited Africa some years ago, and I've always wanted to go visit Africa and just see. I think a big, well, I won't say a big misconception over here, and it was funny because one of my other guests said the same thing. Africa isn't just lions and tigers.
Oh yeah.
In the jungle. It's such a urban, like I said, it's such an urban city. Like I said, really progressive. I'm
Mhm.
curious, what was your thought when you saw Black Panther?
Um, it's like
I mean, I know
you're
it's
going to a
fantastical. I mean, it's a
yeah.
fantasy, type of, Marvel movie. But as far as how it kind of, really showcased Africa, what were your thoughts as an African?
Well, I'd say it was two-sided. One, just seeing a Marvel movie with black people was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think went with like a traditional attire to the movie. Like I went to it's called dashiki. I went to the movie. So it was really crazy. I think even in Kenya we had like you had to book weeks in advance to actually see the
Oh,
show. So
really?
guys really yeah, yeah, guys loved it. Because you see, we always see movies where there's either a mix of Caucasian actors with black actors or just fully Caucasian actors.
Yeah.
So seeing a film that has like I think it was two main guys,
Yeah.
the
The government agent, I think, was
yeah
one,
yeah
and then
Martin
the
Freeman.
villain was one. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So that was amazing. But in terms of the culture aspect, I feel it was just rammed into one thing. Like it was like you're trying to have a cup of coffee, but you're also putting
Oh man, I think he froze up again. Hopefully you will log off and.
complex,
Oh, okay.
congested. So I'm hoping to see what they're going to do in the second one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that it will be at least less complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm done. Can
Um,
you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Um, the video went a little sketchy there, but we still got you there. Um, can you hear? Ah, he logged off. Um, I'm going to jump over to this scene here. He will jump back on in a visit, and he's back for sure. We're having some fun here. Let me jump over to this scene. Back, you're back.
So
Appreciate it.
I think Marvel didn't want me to say that last part, so they kind of cut my call.
Marvel's listening is like, wow, we need to do something here.
It's still
but
cool.
but
It's
I
still
think
cool.
I
It's
think
still
we had the same over here. I think we had the same kind of response in that it was an all black, pretty much all black cast, all production and crew for the most part was black and everything, and it's just something even over here is very rare for us to see. You know, they'll try and mix it with okay, we got to have a certain amount, and even in this movie, they still had the government agent which was white, and then so I don't know if it's like, well, we got to throw at least one person in there or two people in there for but it did. I think, like you said, the beauty of it was it really showed primarily all black cast and all black movie that broke box office records and really showed that we have the dollars that we can make the money, even with a pretty much all black cast. So that was something that was really, I think, I enjoyed a lot. But I'm always curious, how Africans kind of, saw it from their perspective. And like you were saying, you felt like they threw in a lot of stuff and kind of meshed it in with and didn't really narrow down to say like one specific region or place.
But I feel, just to add on that, I feel since there's a lot of interconnectivity, or guys coming to Africa to get stories, or guys going there to give stories, we will eventually be getting more authentic stories or more
Yeah,
authentic experiences
yeah,
and more authentic accents, because accents are bad.
yeah.
They're
Well,
really bad.
well, how well? And let me ask you on that. What did you think
Yeah.
of? I mean, did you feel like the accent was kind of blended with a lot of different accents, or when you listen to it, you could say, okay, it sounds like he's coming from this region, or what?
No, it felt official. Because the times Chadwick was and may he rest in peace. The times where he was hitting it right, and then the times it just goes another direction.
Yeah,
But then again, it's like me trying to do an American accent. It won't work. I'll just sound funny
yeah,
to my
yeah,
Kenyan people.
yeah,
So until you get maybe an actor from here to actually do
yeah.
that, then it
Like
came together.
I love Denai Guerrero, and I love
Yeah.
Lupito Nyong'o. Great, great. I think
Yeah.
they're I just think that they're really great. But like I said, I agree with you. It's tough to really, and you're not unless they're from there and that's they've spoken the language. They're gonna kind of give their interpretation of what the language is, and it isn't just gonna come off right, so to
Yeah.
speak. You know,
Yeah.
let's throw in a few comments here. Miss Leontine, Lizzie thinks the work is so good and unique, different from what you see on YouTube, for sure. Like I said, he does some amazing work. Jedediah think it looks so down to earth, casual, but with flair. And I think, like I said, that's the beauty of what Kelvin does. Really, just like you said, he does what he sees, and he lets you fill in the story of what you think is going on and what's happening, for sure. Charles Mativo, Well
That's good.
in Kelvin, for sure. Appreciate you joining us there, Charles. For sure. Dennis, not only is the tax subsidy important, but also banking institutions to be ready to give loans in animation, creative film studios. At the moment, the Kenya Film Commission is at the forefront of this. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's going to be something more that's going to be needed to be made available for sure to get, like I said, the industry moving as a whole over there. Um, what's been for you the best piece of advice that you've gotten to this point?
Um, I think I was given on my first animation job. I kind of doubt it right now, but it was good when I was starting out. It was always be the first person to arrive and the last person to leave the office. So just to be very disciplined, make sure you work hard and be as good as you can at your job. Yeah,
Awesome, awesome. And you know, everybody, I always got to drop a bomb. You know, that a guest drops for sure. That was some great information. Always be the first person to arrive and the last person to leave, and do your best for sure. Where were we at here? Because I want to throw. We're getting a lot of great. Man, I'm gonna have to bring you back. This is the most people I had on the live stream.
I'm
I
available. I'm
love it.
available.
I love it. Appreciate
Yeah.
everybody being engaged in this for sure. Mr. Roy Kisiello. I hope I pronounced that right. Kisiello. Kisiello.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna stick with
Yeah,
that. Do not freeze. BP. Well in
yeah.
SirNare. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for sure. Mr. DeMille, great question about the accents in Black Panther. Now, I always wondered that. Yeah, I mean, American actor, like I said, unless they're born there and that's their language, it's not going to be really authentic. I've yet to come across
Because
someone.
even um, Lupita Nyong'o is actually from Kenya.
Yeah,
So her accent
and
was
that's why I say Lupita and Denai. Okay, I could get
yeah,
that their accent is spot on because that's where they're from. So um, that, but say like Chadwick and the other ones that are born here, they're gonna try and give their best, put their best foot forward, and it's still not going to be authentic. We may think it is because over here, but somebody from Africa is going to pick that up and say it's not quite right, not quite right. Mr. Jimmy, Black Panther is a Marvel story told from an African American point of view. It was proof that our African stories have a place in the world, for sure, for sure.
that's true.
But I think to credit, oh man, help me everybody, the director for
Um,
Black Panther. Please, somebody help me. It just escaped me the director's name, but I think, like I said, when it got into his hands, because actually Black Panther was created by Stan Lee and somebody white. So they were
yeah,
giving, it really wasn't until it's not until you get it into the hands of somebody that is of color that can
mm,
understand those nuances that the character goes through. And it wasn't
yeah,
until Ryan Coogler, like I said, Ryan Coogler got a hold of it and really wanted to make it something as close to authentic as he could get it, because trust me, it would have been a totally different story or a totally different film had a white director got a hold of it or really
yeah,
got behind it. It's just different. Not saying it's worse or better or worse. It would have been different for sure. So I think that's what we have to keep in mind because, like I said, Black Panther has been around for a long time as a character, and like I said, it
Oh,
wasn't until, like I said, you got it into the hands of black writers and creators that it really started getting a flavor of its own. So that's always a good point. We need to do more of these stories on the axis of Black America and Black Africa, and really, like I said, just people of color all across the board.
mm,
I think and I had this conversation because I was attending a Latinos Latinas in animation, and I think it's the same issue that every color goes through. They feel like their representation is not what it should be. So we're all going through
mm.
the same issue of not being represented and not the stories not really being authentic to really us. So that's why I'm encouraged about this time because you're starting to see a lot more people of color really tell their own stories in their own way. And do you feel like because of this time that we're in, that creators are starting to see the power of and the control in their own hands? Because they don't necessarily have to go to Disney to get their, if they're an animator or a video person, they can really go to all these social channels and build a following um, and grow it from there. Do you feel like we're starting as creators to see how much power we really do have in our hands and control?
I think so. And I'd also mention that Nigeria has a big Hollywood industry called Nollywood, and it's as big as Hollywood in terms of Africa. I think in my younger days, or even I watched so many Nollywood movies, and the difference between those movies and the Hollywood ones was how intense the story was, or how relatable the story was. The quality might have been different because maybe of the cameras then, but now that Netflix has come to Africa,
Yeah,
it's quite changed. Like the standards are getting better. Guys are doing more on demand shows and series. So even the idea of Disney coming to Africa, it's more of as a collaborator than um, I'd say a hirer or somebody who's coming to get information or that's a word. Get stories. So it's more
yeah,
of African directors collaborating with Disney as a distributor.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say I think that's where the big change is going to come. Not so much from within the big studios like Disney or Warner or Sony, but from those independent creators that are partnering. That's what I would hope that more of these studios do, partner with these companies and creators over there to distribute and bring forward their story. Let us control our own IP and destiny of what the story is and stuff, and just be, you know, not coming over to snatch up talent here and there, but to really work with the studios and the creators over there to create more studios and people as
Mm.
well. Like I said, we're getting some fast and furious comments in here. That's why I wish I had me an assistant like you to
We can
help
talk on the
monitor
side. We can
some
talk
of
on the side.
these.
I think she can do.
Oh, Black Panther opened up opportunities for black actors and African cultural expression. They did their best. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it really showed that as a black medium, we can bring in the dollars and still command stories and screen just as well as any other film out there. So I think that was one of the big good things about Black Panther. Obelo Fitz, one of the most humble and hardworking artists I met, the best art director I have worked with, hands down. I appreciate
Thanks,
you
Faith.
coming and joining the show for sure. Man, like I said, we're just getting like some great engagement. Yes, Roy Ryan Coogler was the best. I'm looking forward to Black Panther 2 for sure.
Yeah,
Just to see where
yeah.
they take it,
It's in one
you
month,
know.
right?
But it's interesting, like I said, that you said the wait time, was so long in
Yeah.
Kenya just to get in to see the movie, which, like I said, says a lot. That the support for the show. Uh, Jeffrey, Legion. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Um, I think I may just stick with the first name. Jeffrey, I appreciate that. Great work, sir. Some of the artworks I have seen on Facebook and didn't know who did it. However, it's a unique and well done art style. Awesome work as well, sir, for
Thank you.
sure. Like I said, that was the reason I had to have him on the show because he does such amazing work. And again, for everybody just tuning in, jumping in, we're having a fun conversation. And I'm trying to keep mindful of the time because it is late over in Kenya. That's why I can't thank Kelvin enough for staying up. It's 11 o'clock probably now over there. So I'm really going to draw this in. Definitely have him back on. And by the comments coming in, we can go on and on and on. But I want to be respectful of my guests because, like I said, it is a huge time difference over in Kenya, and it's like getting close to like midnight almost. So it's almost past 11 there, I'm sure. With that, I want to, one, thank you, Kelvin, for being on. Again, I can go on and on, sitting talking with you, for sure. But definitely, want to bring you back on the show, because, like I said, we got so much more to talk about and dive into. Again, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, supported the show. Like I said, this has by far been the best turnout for episode live. So can't thank you enough. Can't thank Kelvin for just promoting his episodes. So I love my African brothers and sisters that joined in, and appreciate and can't wait to get over there for sure. Just a few more comments before we head out, though. They did a good job with Black Panther movie. It was a great start. The six-part animation series was also well done. Waiting for the Woman Warrior to drop. Yeah, they got a lot of great stories coming out of Africa. Like I said, that's why I'm
Mm,
super excited to see the
yeah.
content that creators are starting to bring forward over here, because it's going to just widen the view of just African creators and the stories coming over there. Mr. Charles, thanks, Dons, for reaching out across oceans, highlighting the creative talent in Kenya. Collaboration will lead to relatable narratives if American studios want to reach the African audience. Very well said, for sure. Like I said, I've had such fun and just my honor connecting with my like I said, African brothers and sisters over there, because I've had on numerous Africans on the show, and it's just like I said, can't wait to get over there to meet everyone in person for sure and visit uh, my motherland country. Have you been over to the state? You haven't been over to the states, have you?
Nope, nope. Just through TV, just through TV.
is that is that something that you would at least like to experience what over here, or it doesn't interest you to come over here? Because I mean,
Oh, I'd actually like to do like a cross country trip, like from either the east coast to the west coast, just because I have this depiction of how it looks like. I can now, but it's like I can imagine how it looks like in real life.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it'll be dope.
Yeah, now it's kind of the same way over here. If you haven't been over to the country, you got this idea, and it's not until you get over
Yeah.
there to really experience what the country or what the continent has to offer for sure. Um, Bring back Shani for more. Definitely, Dennis. He's coming back on for sure. Like I
Definitely.
said, cannot thank all of you, the viewers, and Kelvin for making such a great episode. This has been, I have to say, like I said, the best live by far for sure. So again, I'm trying to be respectful of my guests. Make sure that you jump on over to the show notes. Check out all the links and everything. Let me jump over here for sure. Make sure that you connect with Kelvin. Am I in the right spot? Yes, I am. Make sure that you follow, connect with Kelvin on all his social platforms. You can check more of his work on Behance. He's on Instagram. Go to his website. You'll find more information. Definitely check out his ArtStation page for sure. Hop on over to his YouTube channel to check out some animation work. But definitely make sure that you connect with him. Again, all this information is going to be on the show notes over on the YouTube channel. So make sure you hop on over there. Not only subscribe, comment on these episodes because it definitely helps the channel. You comment, give a thumbs up, and really engage with the episodes. It definitely helps me and the show out as well. So I would appreciate that. But definitely, all this information is going to be on the show notes. With that, I'm going to bring this to a close. Like I said, I think I did pretty good. Hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. So it's definitely not 2 hours like my normal ones have been going, hour and a half. But if you could hang out for just 1 minute, Kelvin, while I close out the show,
No
I would appreciate it. But again, everybody, please help me thank again my very special friend, my brother from another mother over in the country land, motherland, Mr. Kelvin Shani. I cannot wait to meet you in person, but thank you, thank you, thank you for making this an awesome, awesome show for sure. Definitely going to bring you back on because I'm just super excited to see what more is going to be coming from you. Um, so thank you again. If you could hang out for just a second, but everybody, please help me thank again my friend Kelvin.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Kelvin, I will get a good as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Everybody, man, I cannot say enough how amazing this was. You guys made it really comfortable for Kelvin. I know a lot of guests get kind of nervous about, coming on the show. Kelvin did an amazing job. You guys and gals helped to make it just an amazing show. I cannot thank you enough for always making the color of motion. And this is what the color of motion is really all about. It's really showing the work that so many talented people of color are doing around this globe that we live on. And so I cannot thank Kelvin enough for being my friend and coming on the show and making it an amazing, amazing show. Man, like I said, could have gone on and on and on, but hey, like I said, times are different over in Kenya. So make sure, like I said, thank you again for making this such a great show. I cannot say it enough and enough and enough. Make sure that you, again, hop on over to the YouTube channel. Check out all the show notes. They will be up Monday, The episode will be up by Monday. Make sure you hop on over there. Give Kelvin a thumbs up. Comment on it to really help the not only the episode, but the channel as a whole. My goal is to make it the most creative place that I can, and I can't do that without you, for sure. I want to thank everybody, Jimmy, Shani, Demille, everybody, Jeffrey, for tuning in and supporting your guy, Kelvin, supporting the show. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to close this out. Make sure that you tune in next week because it's going to have another great show. It's going on and on and on and on, and the train doesn't stop for sure. My next week's guest is Mr. Sean Alagoa, illustrator and animator. Just looking forward to having him on and really having another fun time. So, with that, I can't say it enough and enough. I appreciate you, as always, tuning in every Saturday afternoon and showing up and showing out. With that, hey, have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great one, everyone. Cheers.